Hello.
Hello, you have a call at an inmate at Nevada Department of Corrections, High Desert State Prison. To accept this call, press 5. To refuse this call, hang up now. To block this call and all future calls, press 9.
Hey, I think it's Bryce.
This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Three-way calling or call forwarding an inmate's phone call is unauthorized. This may result in disciplinary action.
You need an electric drill to go bzz, bzz.
Due to the loss of phone privileges.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
Hi, Bryce.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Yourself?
Not bad. What's new in the zoo?
Say again?
What's new in the zoo?
Well, definitely the zoo. Other than that, not much. I'm just touching bases and seeing how everything's going.
So far, so good. We can't complain.
Yeah. How's Rudy?
Yeah, he's here. Can I tell him who's calling?
No, it's Doug Potter.
Okay, just a sec.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Rudy, how's it going? It's Doug.
Hey, Doug. How you doing? You're calling from Indian Springs, Nevada?
Yes, sir. Still getting closer to coming home. I got, if everything goes well, December 29th.
Oh, good. If I remember correctly, you're a friend, or you were at one time in the same jail as Bryce Quellar.
Yeah, we were actually cellies.
Oh, okay. Very good, very good. Well,
Yep, good memory, I like that.
well, very good.
It's been a while since I've touched bases.
Yeah, the Nevada thing kind of gave it away. You were going to be a mechanic, or you were going to get out. I forget exactly, but you had plans to do something when you got out, if I remember correctly.
It's same plans. I am a mechanic for Big O Tires for the last 3+ years. I'm trying to still get back to there, but unfortunately, it's been a couple, hiccups in the Nevada system as well, as always. So I'm getting closer to just being done with it instead of, doing the work release program. It's been uphill for me the whole way, and unfortunately, it hasn't got any easier as far as that goes. So come December, if everything's right and on track, I will be paroling out, home anyways.
Great. What was the date again? You said it earlier, but what was the exact day? December
29th.
Oh, okay. So it's going to be just before New Year's, but after Christmas. Got it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How is Bryce?
Well, last time we heard from him, he was doing well. I think he's looking at possibly a little bit after the 2019. I don't know if January, February time frame, but we're really looking forward to him getting out of there. But how long have you been in? How long have you been in? I forgot. You probably told me, but.
So, since 2003, I've only been on the streets for about just under 2 years.
Wow! So you've been in prison for 15 years, and you're about to get out in a few months. I bet. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine what you're looking forward to, brother.
I remember they didn't have Facebook or nothing. I think the biggest thing they had was maybe Twitter or something along the lines of that.
Yeah.
So
that's a long time, man. That's a long time.
5 months and 5 months. Basically, I got less than 2 years since 2003.
Yeah.
It's definitely been a long stretch, and unfortunately, the good thing is it's almost over. The bad thing is, it's been for petty stuff. Like, I have from attempt possession of stolen vehicle to failure to yield on a police signal. Actually, I can name all of them for you real quick. Attempt possession of stolen vehicle, possession of stolen vehicle, failure to yield on a police signal, and a reckless driving. And I've got 15 years in the state of Nevada.
That's crazy. That's insanity,
for those type of crimes.
I know people that do second-degree murder, and they don't get 15 years. 15 freaking years, man. That's just the most insane thing I've ever heard of.
Is that crazy?
Yeah. Wow.
But, it's almost over. I can do nothing but accept it and, keep my head up high and keep pushing forward, and hope for the best.
Well, you've got a good attitude.
Keep going.
Yeah, you've got a good attitude, and I can tell you're going to be all right. But a lot of people would have lost their sanity, man. I'm glad to hear that you're talking with a good head on your shoulders. You don't sound like you're mentally disturbed, you know.
No, I mean, I try to make the best of every day, and I actually enjoy calling you because you guys are really uppity, up and good people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I haven't physically got to meet you, but I would love to someday. And
you bet.
I mean, when I talk to you guys, it gives me that happy, I get to that happy little part of the day, sure.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. It's Douglas Potter, man. I remember you, and I remember, you spent some time with Bryce, and, we do. Did I ever send you a book called The Kennel? It's about the prison industrial complex and for-profit prisons and how they have to keep the prisons full in order to make money, but it sounds exactly what they did to you,
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, I read that, and I just gave it to one of my buddies like a week and a half ago. I'm like, you need to read this. It's a really good book. I've been carrying that book from you since the day you sent it to me, which was about I would say, a good year plus?
Wow.
Give or take.
Wow.
A year. I carried it everywhere I went.
Yeah. That's incredible,
I
man.
People to get the knowledge out there, but yeah, as a matter of fact, I did. I just was talking about that book about a week and a half ago. I finally got that out of my possession.
That's great. I'm glad you're helping spread the word, man. Regardless of what anybody thinks of Trump, and I know there's pros and cons to everything, but he talks about prison reform, and when everybody brings that up to me, because they know I'm in a prison ministry, I say the problem is much bigger than prison reform, because whenever you hear Trump talk, he says, well, we want to give people a good job when they get out of prison. I'm like, that's not the main issue.
Right.
The main issue is we got too many people in prison, and we need criminal justice reform,
Right. You need in my case, like my situation is, I had a drug problem, and because I don't have drug cases, they don't want to help me with my addiction.
Yeah.
They would rather slap me on the hand and say, we'll send you back to prison for 5 years because you don't have the proof to show us that you had a drug problem.
Wow.
So, because I don't have that kind of criminal history, mine's mostly, something to do with rather another driving, like a reckless driving or a failure to yield on police signal or something rather another like that. I can't get the help I'm requesting or asking for because I don't have the proof to show them that I have a drug problem. And when you see me, I'm in really good shape. I don't look like 9 out of 10 times I get ex-military, or for instance, if I'm not in prison, I get either something to do with the law or ex-military.
Yeah. Well, let me.
I'm in very good shape.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me. Like that's the kind of thing too. I mean, I like where Trump's going with it sometimes, but I also like what you're saying. It's not about when we get out. It's about me. I'm a perfect example.
Well, instead,
how can you keep me in prison for 15 years for the crimes I did?
Yeah, that's insanity, that amount of time, and hearing the charges. But the system is not restorative. It's more of a retribution type system, and it's just totally, it's not restorative at all. And let me share this about drugs, brother. And this is just me talking to you as one man to another. But I'm 51 years old. I have 2 brothers that ruined their lives on drugs. I mean, and it destroyed the whole family, man. I mean, there's divorce in the family, and the crimes they got involved with, and the drugs they took, and it ruined their mental capacity. I remember my dad had to take care of my brother, and he looked normal. When you looked at him, you think the guy's normal, but then you would go out to a restaurant with him, and he couldn't even read the menu to order his own food. My dad had to order food for him.
Wow.
I'm telling you, man. I believe that if you was to go to the state and ask the state for help, they're going to put some psychologist or psychiatrist or whatever crap. I know I don't mean to become too preachy on you, but I believe this with all my heart. The answer to these drug addiction problems lies in faith and righteousness that come from Jesus Christ and believing in the Word of God and hooking yourself up with a good church that believes the Bible. I really believe that because I got no faith whatsoever in psychiatrists or psychologists.
Yeah. See, and I like that, and I would never tell you that you're getting too heavy on me or anything as far as that, because when I call you guys, I've been, me and Bryce sit down and talk about you, and I like the fact that you guys are where you are, because that's what gives me that positive upbeat with you guys.
Yeah.
And I'm getting ready to go back to the parole board in December for them to decide if they want to keep me till December 29th or till May 31st of next year. But what I want to do is I want to get accepted to some kind of get an acceptance letter from some sort of maybe inpatient program or something that's a strict program. So if I say, okay, look, if you allow me to go, I will not only participate in this program, but I'll pay for it out of my own pocket, or I will do what you guys are requesting or requiring me to do to show that I have, to show that that's what I want, to be a productive member of society, and and prove that I can do it again.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to bring them something like that. So I have my wife looking for an inpatient program that will give her, an acceptance letter saying, look, if you allow Douglas Potter to come out, we will accept him for 90 days, 6 months, whatever the program may be, whether it costs me $500 or $10,000. I'm willing to,
yeah. Well,
work and pay.
Let me ask you. You mentioned your wife. Did your wife wait for you for 15 years, or did you meet her, through pen pal in prison?
I've met her through here, but we've been together for over 2 years now.
Well, praise God. I'm glad you got a good woman, man. That'll give you incentives. Give you incentive to stay away from those drugs. But when you approach the parole board, definitely say your heart and say the truth and do what you need to do to get out of prison. And feel free to contact us when you get out. But I'm telling you, man, if you go to the state, I just have lost all faith. And I would say that look at your own experience. Look what they did to you. 15 years. I just don't think they got the answers for the problems of this world. And there's some good prison ministries that that give prisoners a helping hand. There's Teen Mission. So anyway, we'll share some of that information when you get out, brother. But I'm just hoping you get out of there. 15 freaking years, man.
Yeah, I'm. Either way, the end of the road as this passes, definitely either by the end of this year or 6 to 7 months into the next one. And it's time for me to turn the page and start a new chapter. And I'm headed back to Iowa. And if it's possible, me and my wife could probably stop by on the way through, because we're going to drive back.
We'll take you to dinner, man. We'll definitely take you to dinner, and look forward to fellowshipping with you. So just to be clear, I want because we're recording this, brother, and I hope that's okay. If it's not, you just let me know. So I want to be clear. You're 15 years in prison. There's no victim, right? Other than somebody's car might have been stolen, but you didn't threaten anybody. There's no gun involved. You didn't brutalize anybody. You didn't hit anybody. I mean, there's no violence associated with any of your charges. It's just a stolen vehicle.
In 2003, I had fell asleep driving, hit another car. I did have a victim in 2003.
Okay,
I didn't get a DUI. I didn't get nothing like that. I just had fell asleep behind the wheel, hit another car, and the guy ended up dying after the fact. I guess he had a incision in his head and died from a blood clot later on. Well, 10 years down the road, I ran into the nephew or the grandson of the victim, because I paid money to get what was fair for me. I said, I don't want to fight it. I don't want to waste everybody's time. I said full responsibility. It was covered by the news coverage, and everything like that. And long story short, I ran into the guy 10 years later, and he said, look, I just want you to know that our family has forgiven you for your actions. We've accepted the time that you did, and we forgive you.
That's powerful, man. That's powerful.
But it was ruled as an accident. They totally dismissed that. It started out as involuntary manslaughter, and they dismissed it and gave me a reckless driving because I fell asleep behind the wheel.
That's powerful.
So I don't have any. I have no crimes that involve any kind of violence. None of that.
Got it. If they can forgive you, right, and that was their family member, the Lord can certainly forgive you, and you've got to forgive yourself. You've got to get beyond it, right? You've got to, you did 15 years in jail, and that's a long damn time, and you got the rest of your life with your new wife, and who knows if you got a family plan, but man, we're praying that the Lord has a plan for your life, brother, and uses your life as an opportunity to, shine the light for others.
I'll be 42 in, what's today, the 14th? In 5 days, I'll be 42 years old.
Wow.
I have no children of my own. We have a little, a 13-year-old or 14-year-old boy at home now, excuse me. And, I'm, ready to just take the place of stepdad and help put him through college and, do the best we can for him.
Amen.
Other than that, I believe I've lost too many years to start a new, to bring another life into this world and take care of the ones I already have to take care of now. So,
well, that's between you. That's between you and the Lord. But that's wonderful that you got a woman that. Yes, that you got a woman. I mean, the women will incentivize a man more than you can imagine. I mean, that's why God made them, right? Because when we wake up in the morning, they are the love of our life, and they incentivize us.
Absolutely.
We will go through the middle of hell to get to a good woman,
and back just to make sure she knows that.
Yeah, you got that right. You got that right,
yeah,
brother.
maybe I'll give her your number if it's okay, and maybe she can give you guys a call one of these times. She's a really good girl, never done any drugs. Her father is actually, he was a minister or some kind of preacher or something as well, I believe, down in either Florida or one of these surrounding states. So, they're a really good church-going family. She's never done drugs. She's never been in trouble. She's a retired gymnast, which she teaches on the side now, and she works for a major insurance corporation. Okay. How she met me, I have no clue. I asked her what she was doing on a website like that, looking for somebody. But I wasn't actually on the website. Somebody actually had written somebody else just to see what it was, and the guy was like, "Look, you want to deal with it, you can have it." And it's a really awkward situation for me because I'm not the kind of guy that wants to say something, especially to a woman from this side of the fence that I don't know. So it's really awkward for me. But 3 weeks later, I said, "You know what? Look, I'm not that guy. It's very awkward for me, but unfortunately, he gave your info to me. I will throw it away if you're not looking for a pen pal." But it turned out that 2 years later, here we are today, and she loves me.
Wow, that's wonderful, man. I tell you, that's a real blessing. Don't ever take that for granted. And, if she's down in the Florida area, there's a guy by the name of Dr. Kent Hovind that has a Lenox, Alabama Creation Science Evangelism Center. And if you guys ever wanted to visit that center, that might be a good visitation place as well. He was in prison for 9 years, completely innocent.
Really?
Completely innocent. You might.
Bryce is a big
Bryce knows all about Dr. Kent Hovind too. If you ever get a chance to talk to Bryce about him.
What's his name? Dr. what?
Dr. Kent, K-E-N-T, Hovind, H-O-V-I-N-D. And if you look him up on YouTube or Facebook when you get out, you'll easily find him. He's very charismatic speaker, and he just he teaches against evolution, how stupid evolution is, and that God created humans and God created the world. And anyway, he does such a good job at it that he scares the hell out of these fancy professors at these fancy colleges.
I would definitely look into that. Maybe I'll have her give you guys a call one of these times. You guys can, at least you catch up on that touch base. She was born and raised in Florida, but now she lives in Iowa, so that's where I'll be going.
Okay.
But her father actually just took her to Florida for vacation. They just got back, I believe, last week. So.
Very good. Very good.
Nice talking to you guys. I love talking to you guys. You guys always give me that, up and at it kind of attitude, which I appreciate and need sometimes. So sorry it took me so long to touch bases with you guys again, but I don't want to intrude or impose in any way.
No problem. Did you get a Bible at all? I can't recall. We send out stuff to different prisoners, and I can't.
No, sir. I did not. I actually put in because I've been kind of looking into. I'm sure you're familiar with the 7-Day Adventist.
Yeah.
I've been doing that. I actually have like a little Bible here now but it's like the Good News New Testament, which to me it's not really what I'm looking for. It's more of a, I don't know how to really word it, but I don't think it's.
I hear you, man. If you want a sharp sword, if you want a sharp sword, right, that I believe is the actual words of God, I believe it's the same as if God is speaking to you. I'm going to try to get you a King James Bible in the last few months that you have. It's only October, so you got the whole month of November. You can use it when you get out. And my counsel to you, you take it for what it's worth. There's a lot of people that's going to give you advice as you go through life, is to try to read one chapter a day, brother. And when you go through those addiction problems or any things that you might face, any issues, that just one chapter a day. And I believe that book was written by God for humans. I believe it's written specifically, to help us. They call it Bible, right? B-I-B-L-E, basic instructions before leaving earth. But I'll try to get you one, brother. And we enjoyed your call, and our prayers are with you. And I'm glad to hear that you possibly could be getting out in December, and I hope that indeed happens.
Okay, worst case scenario to be made, but I'll tell you what, the day I find out, the day you'll find out.
Okay. Thank you, Douglas.
Thank you very much for taking the time to hang out with me. Tell everybody I said hi, and God bless you guys.
Okay, God bless you, Douglas. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.